In Red Dead Online, telegrams have begun to play a fairly big part. Right at the start of Red Dead Online, you'll be able to get straight into a telegram mission without having to spend any gold whatsoever. So in this video, we're going to be going over what telegrams are, how you start telegrams, the basics of telegrams, some tips for when playing through the telegram missions, and if they're actually worth playing today in Red Dead Online. But before we do get into all of that, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn the notification bell so you never miss any content just like this. So, getting back into the video. On the 16th of February 2021, Rockstar released the first batch of 3 telegram missions, called A New Source of Employment. These have to be played solo. These 3 missions consist of Outrider, a one-horse deal, and Rich Pickings. Each time you complete one of these telegram missions, it will then bump up to hard difficulty and then up to ruthless, and once you have done that, it will then go back down to standard difficulty. Each time obviously progressing and getting harder, but you will also be earning more gold and cash. Later on, Rockstar released Call to Arms, which consists of 5 different maps, these being Blackwater, Fort Mercer, Strawberry, Valentine, and McFarlane's Ranch. These don't have difficulties and will just stay on the same difficulty each time you play them. The most recent telegrams we got were A Tough Business, which consists of Good and Deed, Cold Day in Hell, and Frontier Justice. And these, just like A New Source of Employment, will do the same and go up in difficulty each time. So you might be wondering, what are telegrams? What do they actually involve? Well, telegrams are basically stranger missions in a way. They're slightly different in that they don't change your honor, but they play in the same way and the gameplay is pretty similar. One of the main differences is obviously telegrams you start from your satchel, so let's get into that. To start a telegram mission, first you will have to have collected telegram from the post office, and then it will be available in the documents section of your satchel. You can then select either A New Source of Employment, Call to Arms, or A Tough Business, and then obviously you will get the options to the specific type of mission within that. So it's as easy as that, to be honest. That's all you'll need to do to be able to get straight into one of these missions. So when it comes to that, they are a bit more simple compared to stranger missions, but the actual gameplay once you're in one of these missions is very similar. When it comes to the basics of telegrams, there's a few things worth noting. So first of all, telegram missions do not require any in-game payments to play them. They're completely free and you won't be having to pay any gold, and they're not tied to any sort of role. These can also be played at level 1, so as soon as you get into Red Dead Online, you could just get straight into these. And by completing one of these missions, you will get XP, gold, and cash. So let's go back to the telegram missions of A New Source of Employment and look at those specifically. So just like all of these telegrams, they are from your pen pal, Jay, and you don't really meet him that much. These don't really have much of a story tied to them, but the idea is that you are doing these missions to help Jay. So firstly, we have a one-horse deal. The Braithwaites are negotiating a deal to buy a prized, untamed White Arabian racehorse from Emerald Ranch. Your task will be to intercept the deal, tame the unpredictable beast, and deliver the steed to your contact. This is a highly valued horse, so expect guards to give a pursuit. So in this mission, you'll have to ride over to Emerald Ranch. There will be some combat involved in this, and then you will have to tame the horse and then deliver the horse. Next up, we have Rich Pickings. Rumor has it that the mayor of Saint Denis is busy lining his pockets with seized jewels smuggled into the States. The mayor keeps his stash in his tightly guarded manor, break in, snatch the gems, and get back out alive. So in this mission, you'll have to ride over to one of the Saint Denis mansions, break in by either going in stealthy or just going in guns blazing, and bear in mind that you will get the law on you by doing this, and then you will have to search the house for the jewels, and then just get out of there and deliver the jewels to Jay. Lastly, we have Outrider. A wagon is making its way out of Brittlebrush Trawl, requiring a skilled individual to provide backup against attackers and roadblocks en route. Whether you escort on horseback or ride shotgun is up to you, but if the driver dies, it's on you to get that wagon to its destination by any means necessary, and don't ask too many questions about the cargo. This mission is one of the more basic missions where you will either have to sit on the wagon or just ride next to the wagon, whilst enemies will come after the wagon and you'll basically just have to defend it. And if the driver does die, you'll just have to take control of the wagon yourself. So those are the 3 missions for a new source of employment. It is worth noting that these missions have to be played solo. They can't be played as part of any sort of posse. And just like we mentioned before, each time you do successfully complete these missions, it will bump up in difficulty. Next up is a tough business. These are actually hardcore Telegram missions. This means that they are harder compared to the other Telegram missions, simply because you won't be able to see the enemies on your minimap and you will have to use free aim. If you're on PC, this won't be much of a difference, but if you're a console player, you might find this a bit more challenging. So the first of these 3 missions is Good and Deed. Sees you assigned to the killing of a target in the heart of Saint Denis. You'll only be given a description of their last known outfit, so you'll need to be on high alert. Keep in mind that Josiah will pay you according to how cleanly you can dispose of your mark. Avoid alerting him, his gang members, and becoming wanted by the law for maximum rewards. That basically explains what this mission involves. You're basically just trying to kill a target. The second mission is Frontier Justice. Concerns the Del Lobos gang's armed occupation of Armadillo. Apart from a couple of especially guarded areas though, you'll be able to move about town quite freely, so long as you're not letting gunshots off. Freeing the gang's hostages from their captors will reveal various ways you can further disrupt the gang's activities and raise general chaos. This mission really is just about creating chaos and freeing the hostages. So in the third mission, Cold Day in Hell, it pays to keep a low profile. A local gang has plans for their next robbery and you've been contacted to steal them. If word gets out about the gang and their whereabouts, however, it will place your employers in immediate danger. So you've got to move with stealth and cunning. The document's contents are so sensitive that the gang's leadership's gotten paranoid and only sent a small group of their numbers to hold themselves up in Colter, with hopes that the bitter cold will deter any prying eyes and potential attackers. Rest assured that backup stations at a short distance though, should they hear any commotion. So this mission is basically just about stealth and trying to steal what's valuable. So those were the telegrams in a tough business. These are very similar compared to a new source of employment, but just slightly harder. So lastly, we have Call to Arms. You and your allies have been recruited to protect various locations from up to 10 waves of incoming enemies. Arrange and position yourselves around the map to help defend Blackwater, Fort Mercer, Valentine, Strawberry, and McFarlane's Ranch from invasions. This is actually a lot of players' favourite content within Red Dead Online. Once you've picked one of the 5 locations for Call to Arms, you'll be placed in there with either 3 other people of your posse or 3 random players. You'll then have 10 allies which you can place around the map, and you'll then have to defend off 10 waves of enemies, each time progressing with more enemies, different types of enemies, and also just getting progressively harder. This is basically all just about combat, and with the items around the map, the combat can really vary. So those are all of the telegrams in Red Dead Online. And now it's time to look at if they're worth playing. When it comes to a new source of employment and a tough business, I only suggest playing through these up to the Ruthless difficulty, simply because these will get very repetitive and aren't the best money makers in Red Dead Online. So for first time playthroughs up to that maximum difficulty, they're definitely worth playing through. But past that point, unless you really want to play them, I don't suggest playing these, since there is other content which will earn you more gold, cash and XP. But when it does come to Call to Arms, this is some great fun, so I really do suggest playing through this quite a bit, especially when there is a 3 times bonus, because if you manage to get to wave 10 on that 3 times bonus, you're looking at about $1,000 and 3 gold bars. And even when there aren't any bonuses for Call to Arms, if you complete all 10 waves, you're still looking at a gold bar, which really isn't that bad. And I have to say, for me personally, this is what I enjoy the most within Red Dead Online at the moment. So that does just about wrap up things here. Hopefully now you understand what telegrams are, the basics for all of the telegrams, and if they're worth playing. Let me know down in the comments if you like the telegrams in Red Dead Online and if you have any content ideas for the future. Be sure to like, subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss any content just like this. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.